Charitable giving, it's more than philanthropy. People think of it as philanthropy, and that is always a part of it. There is some level of philanthropy. And this example of this, when you gift assets to a charitable entity, you're going to get some form of charitable deduction. In many cases, when people think about it, it's 100% of the value that you donate. So if you give $100,000 to a charitable entity, people think you always get a $100,000 charitable deduction. It's not always that way. In some cases, you get 10% of that value. So in this case, $10,000. So it can range there. And this also ties to how philanthropic to how personally focused the entity is. In addition, whether you legally always have specific control as to who ends up getting the money from a charitable point, even if you don't legally, in most cases, even if the structure doesn't give you that power, the people who are controlling it typically allow you to control who the specific beneficiaries are. Are there any other similarities I missed there, Peter?
No, I think that pretty well covers it. Obviously, we're getting into a lot more detail about the different
Yeah.
strategies, but
Yeah. Maybe you want to jump into kind of what are some of the differences between these charitable structures just at a high level?
yeah, as you were alluding to earlier, so some of these strategies, there's four strategies. So there's donor advised funds, there's private foundations, there's charitable remainder unit trusts, or charitable remainder trusts more generally, and then there's charitable lead trusts. And so DAFs and private foundations are more on the pure charitable side. You do get some kind of tax deduction, but it doesn't make up for the amount of money that you've given away. And then CRUTs and CLATs have some amount of charitable benefits, but also a personal or familial component where you or your family are also getting something back from the trust in the form of either income distributions or remainder interest of some sort. That's to me, that's like the basic distinction. And then there's also some vehicles give you more control and some give you less control. And so a donor advised fund, you technically don't control anything that happens inside of the fund. And so, like in theory, they could, if you set up a donor advised fund at Fidelity, Fidelity could decide how they want to invest the money, how they want to make distributions. In practice, they give you a lot of leeway, but it's technically not under your control.
Yeah. And just the other piece that you call this out is there's a difference between how philanthropic they're focused to how personally or familial the benefits are. The other piece that differs is even if they are personally focused for you or you and your family, there's differences as to when you and your family benefit. Some of these structures, you and your family can benefit every single year on an ongoing basis. In other cases, you may not benefit really. You may benefit at the beginning and at the end, but not in between. So there's different things as to when or in some cases, the charity gets all the money up front. In some cases, the charity only gets the money at the end. So timing, there's in addition to who benefits, there's when they benefit is another kind of lever that's different between these structures.